Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
Who's feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm trying.
She's trying. So we're gonna do a video talking about anime being problematic and sort of run down some of the latest complaints about anime from the media, from government officials. It's getting kind of crazy. We're gonna talk about comic book resources, which loves to point out things that are problematic, saying that some of the decisions at Crunchyroll's Anime Awards were problematic, including
according to their opinion,
including Best Girl, Raphtalia.
Who wrote this, first of all?
An author.
So basically, I don't agree because it's not my opinion.
Yeah, pretty much. And look, comic book resources, we've talked about this before. It used to be a very reputable comic book news site, and lately it has become a free-for-all Tumblr blog.
It's more like an opinion site at this point.
Yeah, it's a lot of hot takes, but we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the Australian senator that wants to ban or screen anime because he's offended by anime. And some of the other issues that the media and Twitter have had with anime over the last year or two or five. This has been going on for a while now.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a while now. So before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. We're at almost 100,000. 100,000 subs. 100,000 weebs.
They're not all weebs.
That's going to be the name of our band. They had
10,000 weebs.
They had 10,000 maniacs. We're going to start a band. It's going to be called 100,000 weebs.
There you go. Okay, you get on the songs right now.
I can't think of any, but we'll come up with 100,000 weebs.
I kept thinking it was the Red Balloon song when you said that. I don't know why, but
99 red balloons. All right, so Comic Book Resources has this article, which is kind of a non-article. It's basically,
my opinion.
I didn't agree with Crunchyroll's Anime Awards. So some of them are like, winners that fans love and 5 that cause controversy.
They do all these. 5 that people like. Like, you've seen them there. 10 incredible. Well, they have like 5 ships that people agree with, and 5 ships they don't, according to the person writing the article. But what fans? You and your friends is basically what they mean. Because I mean, did they do a poll? I mean,
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, the Crunchyroll Awards, you can kind of take them or leave them, right? I mean,
just like these articles.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's gonna be everybody's hot takes, but this is interesting because Rising of the Shield Hero has been a very controversial series, and it really is a non-controversy because the show is not that bad on any level. It's just 10 years ago nobody would have cared.
Yeah, and exactly. I was just thinking, to interrupt you for a second, but to go back before you start talking about this, was all I keep thinking of is, you said they're hot takes, is you're not allowed to post things that are hot takes. That's not journalism. But it's okay. It's journalism when it's their hot takes.
That's all comic.
Then it's journalism. You can't see my air quotes, but I'm going journalism with air quotes. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all that Comic Book Resources is now, is hot takes. I mean, there's a little bit of news in there, but mostly it's like BuzzFeed. They've got their top 10 lists.
They do. Like, if you go, where is it at? You got, like, here, 5 Naruto relationships the fans are behind, and 5 they rejected. 6 couples that are perfect together, 4 that make no sense. My Hero Academia, 5 DC villains all Might can defeat, and 5 he'd lose against. They do this all the time.
It's BuzzFeed. It's basically the pop culture version of BuzzFeed. That's what
they're trying to be.
That's what Comic Book Resources has become, and it's all about staying in business, basically, at this point. I mean, they're hanging on by their fingertips. A lot of these sites are.
They're saying there's winners and losers that stirred up talk in the anime community. Where?
Link to this talk, please.
What are you talking? Where are they people getting mad about this at?
It sounds like the ones I agree with are the loves, and the ones I personally disagree with
are the hates.
Controversy.
Yes. Love, here, so they have love controversy, love best director, Attack on Titan. Well, yeah. Controversy. Oh, they don't like Promised Neverland.
They don't like it because they don't think it's a fantasy. Doesn't have many. It's more of a horror. I mean, I'll be honest. It's more of a horror series than it is.
Love, best besides controversy, best girl. Why is this problem with it? Best girl comes down to 2 candidates. Demon Slayer, who inspired many cosplays of the year. Wait, because Demon Slayer inspired cosplays. The comic relief chick, and then brought many laughs to the fans. But no, it's Raphtalia.
Yeah, here's why it's problematic, and they're not. No, okay. So they're being very careful. They're being very careful about this because look, the reason Raphtalia is controversial is because she was a slave. She was purchased by Naofumi as a child. She grew to an adult. As an adult, she's got the hots for Naofumi. Doesn't seem like it's really reciprocated that much because he's kind of standoffish. But anyway, they had a problem with the slavery aspects of the show. And that was one of many, many problems they had with it. We talked about that before. It was very surprising that Raphtalia got Best Girl, to be honest.
But wait, but here's the reasoning. Because the one girl got a lot of cosplay.
Yes.
That's the reason. And the other one makes them laugh. That's the reasons that they should have won. But Raphtalia kicks ass, and I've seen cosplays of Raphtalia as well.
Yeah.
So
the media did not want Rising of the Shield Hero to be popular because it wasn't just the slavery aspect. It was also because the main villain
is a woman who lied about being raped.
Yes, you can say.
I'm gonna say it. She lied. Well, she's a real piece of work against a lot of people. But towards Naofumi, she lied about him raping her, so that and then she taunted him for it and everything else. And then Raphtalia, another element of this that people were like talking about was because the slavery thing. But then I equate this to the media, which I think is why they're pissed. Is the whole she kept telling them she didn't want to be freed, and they put a gag in her mouth, and they basically, we're going to speak for you, we're going to free you, but I don't want to be freed. So they gag her. Because, you just don't know what's best for you, as they tell her what she has to be, what she has to believe, and how she has to live. That is why the media is pissed, because it basically is an allegory for the media. So, I'm just saying. Mom. I'm just saying.
When it comes to women, pretty much, like, women must believe these things and must do these things.
And the men will tell you that as a woman, you have to support this and that, or you're a misogynist. I'm like, but by you telling me what I have to like and think, aren't you a misogynist? I mean,
yeah,
you can do this all day.
So I think they've cooled off a little bit on the anime hate lately. Just a couple of years ago, I want to point this out. Just a couple of years ago, if you liked anime at all, you were problematic. This is the time that we live in now, where the pendulum is starting to swing back to the middle. Thankfully, 2015, you were problematic if you had an anime avatar.
Who was that guy?
Oh, Jeffy Rauner.
Jeffy had that whole article about how people, were the wrong kind of people because they had anime avatars, and you could tell they were like alt-right Yahtzees because they had anime avatars.
Yeah, and apparently this whole sentiment started in 2014, 2015 with Gamergate. So we weren't even there for. We weren't even there for that. So this is so weird. We've got people that actually have us on a Twitter list.
I know.
They're literally
we weren't even doing this then.
Literally is a Twitter list. Some dude has a Twitter list called Gamergate Trash, and they put us on the list, and we didn't even have our channel then.
I prefer Trashay.
Trashay?
It's this year's trash. Trashay.
Oh, God. So anyway, yeah, apparently 2015, if you had an anime avatar and you were on Twitter, you were problematic. And there were other articles talking about how the anime avatars got Donald Trump elected.
That's what he said.
Yes, those were from 2016. So the media.
I didn't follow this stuff. I knew one person mentioned it, but
it's crazy.
Wow.
So the media for years now the last couple of years has equated anime with alt-right Yahtzees, which is so weird.
Sorry, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. Okay.
So there's a whole lot going on here. Now, it does seem that the media is starting to cool off a little bit, but we still get bullshit like this. This was last year?
Oh yes, I remember where everything was fascist in disguise. Fascism in disguise.
Fascism in disguise. Trans Nazis.
I was gonna say anime. Fascism in disguise.
Yeah, and that's what they did. So for whatever reason, and again, I think it goes back to GG. Can we talk about that without getting demonetized? 2014, 2015, all of a sudden, all anime became problematic. And now that Hollywood is chasing anime, it's not as problematic now, but we have to tame it. We have to tame the anime.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing over trans Nazis, because I think that's going to get, people are going to take that the wrong way.
It doesn't mean what you think. I'm sitting
here trying not to laugh because I'm like, people are going to have a field day with that one.
Yahtzee cons.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
I was
Polygon.
distracted by that.
Polygon, trusted media source here. Polygon, the fascist subtext of Attack on Titan can't go overlooked. The story's twist exposes the ugly side of manga and anime, and this was a big deal. This article made the rounds last summer.
But why don't... Okay, but here's my thing. They're going about this on anime. Where are the exposés on the ridiculous hoops that media are jumping through to prove, because there's so many agendas hidden in the media. Where are the articles, talking about, each of these channels talking about their agendas and, what they're pushing. They're trying to push fascism on, because Attack on Titan, they have the military uniforms.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, why isn't anybody doing these blogs,
I don't know, because the media's not going to throw itself under the bus.
Well, somebody needs to.
They're going to throw YouTubers under the bus. Absolutely.
No, the YouTubers are throwing them under the bus, so it's just fair.
Yeah, the YouTubers can't throw it, but it just they've had it in for anime. So I mean, this was last year's Boogeyman. Then we had this ridiculous thing we did comment on last year.
Oh yes.
Where Anime NYC banned fascist cosplay of Tanya the Evil.
Mm-hmm. Well, they promoted it on Twitter. I remember that.
While they promoted it on Twitter. It was crazy. It's like, look, here's the thing. Anime hasn't changed in decades. It's just the last 4 or 5 years that all of these blue checks have decided they were going to get offended by anime.
Let's all get offended by the media. And then maybe we can start a storm and then they can see what it's like.
They can see what it's like. Here we go. This one we did cover too. Sci-Fi Wire. The troubling relationship between anime and fascism. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And anyway, now the government, because, government, they're kind of like boomers, right? They're a little late to the party. Uh-huh. So now an Australian senator has decided that anime is problematic because apparently he's watched some of the worst of it and he just couldn't even verbalize some of what he had seen. And also he watched Sword Art Online. And he's just so offended. This senator, who is this? A member of the Australian Senate has called on the federal government to immediately review all Japanese anime movies available in Australia. All of them.
That's going to take a while.
That's going to take a while. Along with the ban of any anime and manga featuring what they consider to be child exploitation.
Well, I have a problem with that too, but
Yeah, as a matter of urgency.
Well, you can't quickly review all the movies available.
I'm just trying. Okay, so
that's your job. You get paid to review these? Hell yeah!
Oh, quickly, all the hentai. You've got to watch all of it and see if these cartoon characters are underage or not.
I mean, I'm sorry. I agree that anything with child exploitation is not okay.
Well, okay,
that's the mom and teacher in me. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna say that.
So here's the thing, though. Do we have to check the ages of all these characters?
Well, if you're going by child exploitation and characters being under the age of 18 and people using them and sexualizing these characters, why does She-Ra come to mind?
Oh,
She-Ra should be banned in Australia, and it's not anime.
No.
But it should be banned.
I watched part of this speech. This guy is he is crazy passionate about his war on anime. In a speech to the Upper House Senator Sterling Grift.
Wait, Sword Art Online's rated M?
The movie, Sword Art Online Extradition.
Oh, okay, the movie. I was like, the show.
Yeah, it was misclassified, saying the show undoubtedly features the abuse of children. I haven't watched it. I don't know. Does it? But they're talking about some other offensive manga and offensive anime, like Goblin Slayer.
Oh, yeah, people have a problem with that, I remember.
Okay, like Goblin Slayer, which in my office we showed to a number of people today, and they were absolutely horrified.
I'm sure they only took out put the one part in. And
yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so now we've got the Australian government cracking down on anime and manga, and how long until the U.S. government decides it's a good idea too? Now, I do believe that as long as the stuff is rated properly, and I think. Yeah. I would like to say that they were just like they said there was a misclassification of rating, but it sounds to me like this could be the doorway to banning
the
stuff.
Gateway to banning. I mean, I'm sorry, but if it shows children and being then yeah, I can understand why they would want those particular ones not brought over. But as long as things are rated properly, I don't see what the problem is, as long as it's not, involving children.
Well, here's the thing, though. The thing is we don't know. Well, one, we're not dealing with actual children. We're dealing
Right,
with cartoon characters. But the thing is they said it's kind of vague because it says the Commonwealth Criminal Code prohibits the sale, production, possession, and distribution of offensive material that depicts a person or is a representation of a person who is or appears.
Well, that is ambiguous because what could the artist could say? Well, I just draw my characters looking young, but they're actually 18. So they're gonna have to put a disclaimer on every video. Then the characters depicted in this show are 18 and over. So just so you know.
Yeah. So BuzzFeed said speaking of BuzzFeed said sweeping all might just have been an impassioned overstatement. In both Griff's letter to Peter Dutton in formal motion, which passed the Senate, the senator asked for banning of obscene content and a rehaul of classification, not a look into all anime like Spirited Away. Okay, so Ghibli's fine, because remember, according to Jeffy Rauner, if you have a Ghibli anime avatar, you're okay. If you have any other anime, you're
Is that what he said?
Yes.
I don't remember.
You're an alt-right Yahtzee.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is I think
this is a fine line.
This is a fine line because the problem is when they say if they look like they maybe possibly could be underage. The thing is, almost all anime characters look like children.
They do, as I say, especially that character there. Even like a lot of them do. I don't know how old that character is, but especially when it comes to like the girl characters.
Yeah.
Which is that's a whole other argument right there. But oftentimes they do look like they're underage.
Yeah. So. I don't know.
Booby types, then they usually not underage.
I don't know. But there's definitely an anti-anime, anti-manga sentiment.
This is a tough one because I mean I think the only time I'd agree with this at all is if it legitimately was like child characters. And that other than that, I just say rate it fair, rate it right, and then let the adults decide they want to watch it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm wondering what's and this kind of goes back
Where
to
does it stop?
Yeah, we talked about this before that it does seem like now, especially since Hollywood's involved in anime and manga now, it does seem like there's an attempt to kind of either tame it or replace it with American produced content.
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's why the money didn't go to Japan like it was supposed to.
Yeah, because we don't know what you're going to do with that money, Japan, so let's make our own stuff. Yet Crunchyroll co-finances Shield Hero. So
yeah, there you go.
Go figure. Maybe that's why it won an award. But yeah, they have another article out a couple weeks ago on Comic Book Resources talking about all the 90s anime that would be problematic today. Now, Japan doesn't care. Japan doesn't care for the most part. But now, all of a sudden, all of these...
Sorry.
Dragon Ball's got a lot of things that people, Oh my God, Golden Boy, yes!
That's great!
Golden Boy. Widely regarded as one of the greatest comedy anime ever created. It's hilarious. Now, all these characters are of age, just to be clear. But Golden Boy is freaking hilarious. We watched Golden Boy.
It's been a long time, but yes.
Quite often. It was pretty funny. It's not the type of thing you would want to sit down and watch with your children.
No
shit.
I watch it with my children.
Berserk.
I'm glad that you're here to clarify that for me.
Ninja Scroll is problematic, and Evangelion is the most problematic anime. I strongly disagree with that. They just put a half-assed translation up on Netflix. I don't think it's that problematic.
So the problematicness is the half-assed translation.
That might be. So that might actually be.
Problematicness is my new word of the day. It's the non-word.
Now,
that's funny. I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah, God. Dragon Ball. Oh my God, they would.
Dragon Ball's got a lot of things that are But again, this just shows the difference in culture. The Japanese don't care. But now that Hollywood's getting involved, now that the media's getting involved, now they're paying attention to this stuff.
This kind of goes along with something I was talking to Pinky Boo about. We were talking about how some countries ban things like Steven Universe or, they ban Legend of Korra or different things. And whether or not we agree with it or not, it's not our choice because it's up to that country and what they believe in. Do I think it's, some of those things should be banned? No. But it's not up to me. And I think that's what's going on here. In Japan, this stuff might be okay. It might not fly, in another country, but that's up to the other country. That Japan can do Japan, and if you like it, great. And if you don't, suck it, because it's not about you.
That sounds like a great title for an anime. Japan does Japan. Suck it.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Suck that giant peach.
I'm sick. So if I make stupid comments, I apologize.
The giant peach must be sucked now.
My mom listens to this.
We're talking about fruit.
That's
what are
right.
you talking about?
Fruit. Go suck a peach.
That's the biggest fruits basket ever.
But I'm just saying, it's just, I don't think it's right to. I mean, they weren't letting Gravity Falls in some countries, and I think that's kind of really funny.
It's Grunkle Stan's hat.
I don't know, but it's up to them, and it's not up to us to make those judgments on them, because that's not something they want to put out in their culture. And just like Japan, we can't judge Japan for making this stuff, because that's their culture, and who are we to tell them that they're wrong? I mean.
Yeah, but
we don't have to like it here or consume it here.
Well, what's going on though? And we saw this with interspecies reviewers and stuff too, where I think too there's definitely a disconnect in the mad dash to bring everything out over here. A lot of these companies don't realize what they're bringing over.
Okay, that one. How do you not know?
There was no way they didn't know. Basically, some people got their panties in a bunch. And decide but I guess it's on another television network now. But since America is actually bankrolling a lot of this stuff now, because a lot of this stuff is co-production, so now Japan is almost beholden to.
Did somebody just slip it in a list and they had them sign off on it and then tell them they didn't actually check what the list was?
You got some Dragon Ball, you got some Sailor Moon, got some Hello Kitty, got this thing with the tentacle monster booby babes, and you got.
No, but I'm just saying, is that what they did? It's like the politicians do. We'll just sneak all these things.
It's a rider.
We'll sneak all these riders in on these bills, not tell everybody that there's what they're agreeing to, and that's what I kind of feel like. It's like they just snuck it in. I mean, because there's no way you could miss this. I can't. Any other way doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, with interspecies reviewers, even they're like clearly some people are not paying attention to what the hell is going on. Do they even watch this stuff?
Where they just want to see what they can get away with. Let's see how stupid these people are and see what they'll agree to.
And
Rumors.
Here we have an entire website.
Oh, anime feminist. Oh God.
Dedicated to how problematic anime is now. I'm like, where were these people at? Like, I've been watching anime since the 80s. And 90s. Some of the stuff I watched in the 90s, I was like, oh my God, how they get away with that. They're talking about, Ninja Scroll and some other ones. I'm like, and I used to rent these from Blockbuster Video when I was like 13, 14 years old. I'm like, oh, anime, that's cool.
Yeah,
it's like
Sailor Moon unedited. They're, transformation scenes are not what they are over here. So. I
don't know. But yeah, I think we're going to see more. I think we're going to see a lot more shade thrown at, anime and manga. Before, I don't think anime and manga were big enough culturally here in the U.S. for the mainstream to pay attention to it.
Really?
Does that make sense? I don't think they really were.
I think they were, and then they weren't, and then they are again. I think they were, and then they kind of buried it, and then they're bringing it back. But all I keep thinking is that they're going to lose their crap over this stuff. I like to see what they think of pre-tier.
Oh my God, pre-tier. Pre-tier is fun.
They would really have a fit. Because anyway, if you've seen pre-tier, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, a lot of these. Look, I'm gonna say this: a lot of these journalists, anime journalists now, writing for these blogs. I'm not saying this person in particular, but they're probably too young to remember a lot of the more hardcore stuff that was out in the 80s and 90s.
Well, their heads would explode over pre-tier.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like she gets her powers by boys entering her body.
Yes, that is true. The boys enter her body,
which I love pre-tier. Now I want to watch it again.
And gives her power.
But it's what happens.
It's called preeding.
I'm surprised that isn't one of the problematic animes that they're listing, because I think they'd have a whole lot of trouble with that.
Does anybody remember pre-tier?
I don't know, but if you haven't seen pre-tier, go watch it.
It's really actually pretty good.
It's really good.
It's like Sailor Moon if Tuxedo Mask actually went inside of. Never mind. I'm sure there are bootleg anime that depict that in a totally different way.
But I'm just saying that was a pretty popular one that I'm surprised didn't make the list.
Anyway, anime is problematic. It's going to continue to be problematic as it becomes more popular, and we're going to see more hit pieces. I think the journalists out there are going to, look for things to be upset about.
Imagine that.
Hold your ground, because it's not all bad.
We just look for things to fight back on. So
yeah,
that's what we do.
That's what we do.
What can we slap down today?
So we're gonna wrap this one up.
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and congrats to Raphtalia.
Yeah, I like Raphtalia. See, I like her too, and then you said she reminds you of me, so she needed to win Best Girl. Damn it.
She did.
Now I need to go lay down.
All right, we'll see ya.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.